Welcome to Black Love Matters, where this service is therapy session for figuring out adulthood,
loving each other,
or find Ariana, Brock, and Michelle,
or Jay-Z and Beyonce, or this episode, you already know what it is. As promised, the R&B, Randall and Beth.
Okay.
We seen the episode. I gave you our preview last week of my thoughts. We're going to give you a balanced review with Nero. But I do got some questions about these same motherfucking arguments that folks be having.
Okay.
Got some questions. What you think, Nero?
You know, Randall and Beth, you know, we only known them for a couple of years, but, you know.
Ain't it been like 3 or 4?
That's why I said a couple. I couldn't put down how many.
Okay, thank you.
A
few.
A couple to a few years. So, you know, we're just starting to peel back this onion of, like, what's really going on. And, you know, this is us. So it's going to be very interesting to dig deep and go further in this review.
Exactly.
Wow.
Who was you?
I'm Neil.
I'm Nyambi.
And this is episode 288, y'all.
288.
Be
Hold
sure.
on. What? You say 288?
I mean, no.
And I'm following right behind you. I said, what?
238, y'all.
I said, is it June?
238, y'all. Be sure to leave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and on Stitcher. Follow us on all forms of social media. Black Love Matters is black with no K. What's going on with you?
Well, first of all, thank y'all for bearing with us. Y'all find out why we ain't had no episode on Monday, and it was not Nyambi's. I just want to make note. The last times we ain't had podcasts, and the first time was technology, which is Nero, and the second time was Nero. So I don't want y'all talking about Nyambi doing something. It's Nyambi giving it the podcast. It ain't. And also, I got to go out of town next week for work, so we have to figure out. We might do one extra episode for y'all, so you can have it, so y'all won't have to go too long without us. But I just want to put out there, it ain't Nyambi's. Can we all agree on that? All meaning Nero?
Sure.
Thank you. So just a brief update from our past weekend, because I think it's so eventful that we should go back to it. It was just nice, right? Like, I really had this, I don't know, moment of, is gladness the word? Like, I had joy for a little bit. So, like I said, I remember I went out to, I was working from the city because we had some folks from out of town, and they were staying, and so we did happy hour, and y'all, we ain't just happy hour. We happy hour. You remember that joke Bernie Mac used to say, Negroes don't break, we break. Because he said, would Barbara have a little cheese sandwich and some crackers and carrots and hummus? But she said, when Keith go on break, he breaking. He got to go somewhere and wrap his Popeyes in aluminum foil and put it in a convection oven and heat it up. That's what we did, y'all. We literally were at happy hour. We were at the whole happy hour. We were there from like 4 to 7. And that's when Nero and I left in Mabel, because Mabel was invited to San Francisco. And they were still rocking. To the point, remember we were walking past it again?
Yeah.
I think that was them still there.
They
done went into dinner hour.
Yeah.
And it was just nice. It's just been so long. And I think I forgot of how I'm fueled from community and or fellowship. Maybe that's the word. It's just been so long since we fellowshipped with a group of people casually. You know, sometimes when I fellowship, I put a time stamp on it. I said, oh, we're going to go fellowship. They got an hour. But like literally for this happy hour, there was no time stamp on it. Right. The only reason we did leave because I was like, you know, I'm getting a little lunchy. We had to check in the hotel. Right. We had to do a lot of moving parts. Mabel might need to go to the bathroom. Right. We ain't want her to get kicked out to the restaurant. Like,
oh, no. Maybe I went to the bathroom.
Oh, I guess Neil will tell that story. And then we went to the hotel, y'all, which was nice. But that pet fee played so much. Next time, I'm just sneaking her in. I'm not paying no pet fees. I'm literally going to sneak her in a purse and just have Nerum check in the hotel. And I'm just taking my ass right up to that elevator and acting good and entitled. What you think?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because that fee was a lot for nothing. I think we're supposed to get other things, but I was just trying to get in quickly and swiftly under the radar because we was tired too. Like,
yeah,
we were just ready to go to bed, and we literally laid out the robes and told Mabel to lay on the robes and went to sleep because we badass fur parents and they bring her bed.
Well, this damn hotel's would have a bed.
They were.
Well, that's what somebody told me.
They were. I think we would have asked for it, but it was one of them things where I was like, you know what? Let's just go to bed. I'm not trying to rock any boats. Let's just be quiet in meditation and prayer. Because I even think if you would have left that room and me and Mabel would have been in there, she would have lost her fucking mind. She'd be like, where the fuck are you going? You know what I'm saying? And also in that hotel, y'all, I don't know what was happening. You know, Satan was trying to come in. Have y'all ever had a TV freeze? said, what is the early 2000s is going on? Because we had the TV on initially to kind of drown out some of the hotel back and forth, door slamming noises from Mabel. Because we noticed, like, when the TV's on, like, she doesn't pick up on other noises. Mm-hmm. But, it was late. It was like 2 a.m. I'm like, I'm waking up like, what Steve Harvey talk? Right. So I'm like, let me turn off this TV. And of course, as soon as I turn off the TV, who loses her mind?
Mabel.
So I was like, let me turn the TV back on. And then she finally calmed down. I was going to turn the TV back off again. And then it just froze. And it was no words. It wasn't even talking.
It was just stuck on whatever. It was
I couldn't
stuck on
hit power. I couldn't do anything. How did you finally turn it off, Neil?
I unplugged that bitch.
Oh, my gosh. It was ridiculous. And then we went the next day to Treasure Island. And I liked it. It was lit. We got drinks, food. We picked up some, vintage sunglasses.
Yep.
And we're serving, they're like fake gazelle. I don't know what they are, but they're serving, me and Niram look like 1980s auntie and uncle who might have been involved in the dope game. Just casually, not deep into it. Like, we still go to church.
What?
You know what I'm talking about. Y'all know them dope boys. They be like, yeah, I'm just trying to get right with the Lord. It's like, well, you got to stop selling drugs. That's a step, right? There's other ways to make money. Because them D-boys and D-girls back like ain't no other source of income. It is. It ain't just making that money as quick as you want it to.
Mm-hmm.
You like those glasses, Neil?
Yeah, they fly.
They are sickening. And it was just a good weekend, though. What you think, now?
It was definitely a good weekend. So to add on to that, this damn dog. So I think Mabel can make it in the city now.
Why you say that?
So one of the things I had going on was I had like this photo shoot / art exhibit thing going on that I really don't know how to explain yet, but just know it's some dope art that I'm creating. And Mabel was with me all day. So, we walked around. I left her in the car, whatever. She was on the car for 30 minutes or so. Yeah. So on the way back, Mabel kept like whining and just whining. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, you've been in the car before. And it's like, oh, shit. Mabel look at me like, nigga, I got a shit.
She's like, I got the bubble guts.
And I could tell because it was a different wine. I was like,
oh,
what
poor
the
baby.
fuck?
Yeah.
So I get out. San Francisco, like New York, ain't no grass.
Ain't no grass. Ain't no greenage.
So, you got them little trees with the little grates around it. I don't know what those grates are for.
She be trying to get to the one weed. That's
so Mabel was trying to find grass, She's sniffing, ain't nothing. So I'm thinking she all right. Like, she trying to pee, but ain't no grass there. This girl had the nerve to take a squat in the middle of the sidewalk.
In front of busy sidewalk.
A busy-ass sidewalk and take a shit.
Niram, did you have her bags?
No, I didn't have no bags.
Didn't have nothing.
I didn't have nothing because that was all. I don't know where it was at. It was in the car.
The car.
It was in the car. So I'm looking around with this big pile of shit on the ground.
Yeah.
Going back and forth, getting judged by white people. I was starting to be a nigga and said, fuck it, and just keep walking like, come on, dog. So I'm like, what the hell going on? People judging. Yeah, like shitty. Oh, white women. She shut the fuck up, white woman. Yeah. Trying to figure out what's going on with my dog.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't have nothing.
Yeah.
I was going to like just kick it, but I was like, I don't want that shit on my shoe.
Juice, yeah.
So next thing I know, a piece of newspaper.
The Lord.
It was a tumble newspaper just floated around. I picked it up and I was like, yep, that's it. And I was like, damn, Mabel. And Mabel looked like she was just happy, like, yes, I'm just glad to get this out of me.
I didn't know how hard it was to find grass places.
Yeah. Everywhere. It's hard to find grass in the city.
I didn't realize how trained Mabel was.
Yes.
Until. Because even that morning I found her a little park and she was like, Jesus, let me let it all out. And she said, I might never find no more green grass.
Exactly. So that's something to think about. We thinking about moving to the city and shit.
Yeah, we got to be equipped.
Maybe we need to stay across the street from a dog park.
Come on. The only other thing I really got is, did y'all see the Twilight Zone? If y'all Jordan fucking Peele's with an S.
Did you watch it?
Yes, I watched it.
How you watch it?
Because it was free on YouTube and I casted it to the TV. So y'all know they restarted Twilight Zone and it come on CBS, but to get the Twilight Zone episodes, you have to buy CBS access. That's some bullshit. We might need to start a petition to get them just to add that to the regular television programming. Right? I'm surprised they didn't just make that across the regular television programming. So what they did on YouTube, they offered the first episode free to get your ass bought in. Y'all, I don't want to give it away, like, because I know y'all be getting on us about giving spoilers. When I tell you this episode was so good, when I tell you Jordan Peele is serving Ron Sterling, President Obama, educated black man realness in his suit with his moisturized lips. Like, I was just like, he's giving it. And then not only that, is the cast is diverse. This whole episode centered around like black people and these little Indian people. When's the last time you seen Indian people?
What type of Indian people, baby? Red dot or Native American?
Oh my goodness, Nero.
What?
Red dot. That's not what you. Indian people are only people. Indian people are people from India. Native Americans are not Indians.
Well, you know.
That's a derogatory term for Native Americans. Indigenous people or Native Americans, Nero. Indians are people from India.
Baby, you don't have to give me a lesson. I just didn't know where you was going with this.
Where you thought I was going?
I didn't know if you was going Native American.
I told you where I was going.
You did. You said Indian people. That don't mean nothing.
Indian people are people from India.
Look. I didn't know if you was trying to put
some people. I just didn't hold
India. I just didn't know if you was trying to say indigenous people.
No,
because I said, you fuck up a lot of people's names and a lot of terminology.
Indian people, are from India.
Okay,
I'm not sure what this dot madness you talk of.
Okay,
I'm gonna let that go. But it was just really good. Do y'all know what I mean? Like it was just. It was like, oh, this is some good ass TV. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do to watch the other ones. I'm not comfortable or ready to give CBS any type of money. So why don't us as black Twitters why don't we just like tweet them and be like, put this on television? Representation matters.
Screw that. Who got a password code?
No one got CBS access. Who was paying for CBS?
I don't know.
First of all, CBS tried it. That'd be like ABC or Fox being like, pay us $5. For what? You niggas is free. And then CBS, I'm like, well, what they got on here? They basically got all they backlog stuff. And then, but what they have that's a slightly unique compared to the other channels, they have every program that ever been on CBS.
Really?
So even if it only had one season and it was canceled, it has everything. Like all the way back to like the original Twilight Zone.
Oh, CSI Miami?
So all of that. You can watch all of that backlog. And then they also got a few movies too. It reminds me of like FX and Fox, that type of stuff. But it's still something about paying. It's not aligning with me, CBS. And they're the only one that has that model that's on the major networks that are telling us to pay.
Yeah.
I don't even know how much it is to pay. And the thing is, they don't even give you a free month. They was like, we'll give you a week free. 1 week.
Well, you got to wait till all of them get up there then. And then stream them all.
Yeah, that's what I think I'm
going to do. You know that's what the niggas do for HBO?
Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do because I really want to watch I love Twilight Zone. Y'all have no idea.
Or you just have to create new, what's the name?
Weekly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we at least got 3 weeks here. But other than that, like church was a word. Work, I'm going through some things. I'm still not negative. Like, I love my job, right? But it's just some work that I'm doing that I need to fully flesh out the curriculum that has to do a little bit with diversity and equity and like managing and I don't know. I might get y'all opinion on some stuff on how I need to move forward and stuff like that. But the biggest thing I think the takeaway I've been having is this idea of planning in pencil but living in perspective, right? If I had to sum up all the stuff since we haven't taught since Friday, this is really this idea of planning in pencil but living in perspective, right? So all the plans that might happen, right? Sometimes it changes, but you do got a plan and you have to be ready to erase that mug and keep going and also keep the perspective that, in the grand scheme of things, we're all little, right? And be kind to people and keep it moving. Or even the idea, I know the pastor even talked about it a little bit on Sunday, that God will crash a party for the betterment of you. So just be happy for those parties that's been crashed. Niran, what's your check-in? Why are you laughing at me?
Oh, no. Because,
why you laugh?
Because the way you said it. Like like it's a movie. What? Party Crashers God edition.
What? God will crash. You don't believe it. God, you will be rolling thinking you're doing something you're supposed to do in line, and then God will be like, he whispers before he yells, or he talks to you in your conscience, but he yells when you really off track. Right? He'll tell you, child, I need you doing all that. Oh, you think you having fun? All this shit now. I think he was talking about the pastor when he was talking about this. Some Daniel chapter 5. I know some folks like to go do the Bible study, and they were saying how, those folks having parties and having a good time, and I'm losing train of thought.
There's something about a hand came up.
Yeah,
you told me
I'm trying
last...
to see Babylon. So they turn it up in Babylon, right? And they drinking, blaming on the juice, all of that stuff, right? And then all of a sudden a hand, not a body, a hand appear and start writing something on the wall. Ain't nobody know what to say. Right to the point where the Pharaoh was like, "Do y'all see that hand, or is that the liquor?" Right? And sometimes God would do things to crash your party and stop, right? And long story short, they had to get to Daniel, and they was trying to offer Daniel all these things to read it. He said, "Child, I don't need to live in that. I don't live in this world. I live for the Lord," right? That's perspective. But in layman terms, the Lord said Babylon will fall. Good luck. And, just keep that in perspective, right? Mm-hmm. And thank goodness it did fall. But I'm sure when he crashed that party, everybody wasn't thinking that, huh? Mm-mm. But living in pencil, playing in pencil, but live in perspective. Neerams?
All right. So the reason why we didn't have a podcast on Monday is because on Sunday...
Tell the truth, Shiny Devil. It ain't me or Mabel.
Sunday on my 18-mile run, I got hot and or heat exhausted and or dehydration.
Like a baby.
And damn near passed out under a tree.
Jesus. Keep them lifted. Keep them lifted.
And damn near passed out under a tree.
He stay in trouble.
How?
That's ridiculous. Walk us through it, Nero. You can't just get off easy.
What you mean? So we'll start with Friday. Uh-huh. We went out, happy hour.
Why are you backtracking to my story?
Because I feel like it plays a part of my 18-mile run on Sunday. Okay. I had this thing I had to do where I had to stand in one spot for about 2.5 hours, didn't drink no water, and then have a little drinky drink with Nyambi afterwards.
So you've been dehydrated for the whole weekend.
Saturday we spent this whole day at Treasure Island Fest, walking around with Mabel and Nyambi. Mabel was so hot she was hyperventilating.
Mabel was hyperventilating to the point I just had to pick her up, honey.
She was hyperventilating. Didn't want to drink no water.
I said, "You're going to drink this water, ma'am."
Meanwhile, I'm hot too. And, I was drinking water, but I maybe didn't have the necessarily.
You had 8 ounces of water for a whole day.
I probably didn't have the best hydration.
And counter to having a big ass mimosa or sangria.
Oh, I did have a sangria.
Just dehydrated.
Sunday, it's D-Day, so we came back. I'm rested. And I have an 18-miler. So I usually run on this trail. I don't know something. I usually run on this trail that I like to run on for like my long run. So like 16 miles, anything from 16 to 20 miles. I like to run on this trail because it has bathrooms and water fountains just about like every mile, every 2 miles, something like that, right? So on my way driving there, like something in my spirit like tells me, just tell Nyambi where you gonna be at. What was that surprising when you got that text? So I text Nyambi.
Yeah. Yes.
Why was surprising?
Because what do you mean? You explain. It shouldn't have been a text. It should have been a direct call.
No. What the hell? Who the hell? Oh, that's Mabel. I said, who the hell's scratching my foot?
Okay. Who? Hopefully it's what? Not who.
Shit. It felt like a hand. I didn't know it was. You know how
the Lord. It's Babylon.
You know how Babylon was just a hand. I thought it was just a hand scratching my foot. It was damn near Mabel. No, but some told me just to tell you where I was at, because I know you be like, where you be at running? I don't know. Something happened. I don't know where you're gonna be at. Blah blah blah. So I text Nyambi where I was gonna be at, how long I was gonna be there, and things of that sort. On the run, the trail is like 9 miles. 9 miles one way. So I ran 9 miles. And at the end of the trail, there's this KFC. So I ran the first 9 miles.
KFC?
Yeah, it's a KFC at the end of the trail.
Oh, okay.
So I ran the first 9 miles, got the KFC, used the bathroom, checked my little hydration backpack that I have with water in there, whatever, filled it up, and started running back. And on the way back, I ran out of water. Mm-hmm. So I thought I was golden because on the way there, I didn't use up all the water that I had drunk. I mean, I didn't use up all the water that I came with. So I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna be golden. So on the way back, I ended up drinking like the whole hydration pack, which is about 2 liters. And I suck on a little straw. I'm like, okay, I need water. Thing is, I see the water fountain. It's probably about, I want to say, no more than like a quarter mile away. 100 meters to a quarter mile away. Like I can literally see the bathrooms with the green water fountain, things of that sort.
Yeah.
But after I sucked the straw and seen I had no water, I took about 15 more steps, and I just got dizzy.
Yeah.
I got dizzy and I got tunnel vision. So like things was closing in on me, and I almost felt like I was in like. Have y'all seen like? I almost felt like I was in like a horror movie. Like, and I'm the damsel in distress, like who's like just walking confusingly. And like everybody's just looking at him, right? So I feel myself like I'm feeling tingly all over. And I'm like, I need to get some water now. I see this lake. I'm like, do I just jump in the lake? I don't know if I'm hot. A lot of things is going through my head now. Shit was going down. See this white couple, and I was like, this is going to sound weird, but I'm about to pass out. Can I have some water? Because I seen they had a water bottle. So they give me some water. They had me sit next down to this tree. We sit and talk and whatever. We sit and talk, and it's weird as hell trying to have a conversation with strangers. They trying to tend to you. So I'm like, so what do you do for a living? Or like,
I would have been silent. I was like, would y'all pray for me silently?
My name is Niram. What's your name?
Yeah.
What do you do for a living? As I'm drinking water out this dude's wife water bottle. I didn't care about where the water came from.
You'll deal with that later.
I deal with that later. So 15, 20 minutes go by, and I start feeling better. So, we part our ways. I literally can see the water fountain. So I'm like, well, I'll just walk to the water fountain and get some more water and then wait a little bit and keep going.
Yeah.
And so as I'm walking to the water fountain, it's in the sun. So I get about halfway there and start feeling dizzy again. And like everything started tunneling on me.
Yeah.
So I sit next to a tree and I see this couple who's having a picnic. Looked like dude was macking.
And you ruined it.
I fucked it up.
This me just throwing a water bottle out of you. Just get out of here.
I fucked it up. I said, excuse me. Excuse me.
Get out of here.
I'm about to pass out. I'm out of water. Do you have some water? At this point, I'm cotton mouth and everything, whatever. So they give me some water. We have a conversation. And every time, and at this point, I sat down under the tree. And I'm like, the world is spinning. I'm just going to hold on this tree because I heard that if you get dizzy or like you feel like the world is spinning,
what the Pinterest hack are you talking about?
If you place your hand on something that's stable, the world will stop spinning. So I put my hand on the tree. The world stopped spinning.
Bye.
But I was like, I'm just going to sit down. So I had like some beef jerky, some trail mix and things of that sort. So I ended up eating that. But every time I stood up to go try to walk to the water fountain, like I just kept getting dizzy.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, is this it, Lord? And I'm just going to be here at this tree for the rest of my life.
Jesus. Help him, Lord.
So I see, I don't know if I called Nyambi first or if I seen the park ranger. Either or. I think I called Nyambi. I said, Nyambi, I don't want you to be alarmed.
All right, he was alarmed. Meanwhile, me and Mabel about to get ready to go play for 3 hours.
Ring, ring, ring. Hello, Nyambi. I don't want you to be alarmed.
Already alarmed.
But I felt dizzy while I'm running, and I'm sitting under a tree. Jesus. What? Jesus. Hold on. Click. So where the hell she go?
What?
I was on the other line with Lake Nia. He said he gonna send a prayer. What? You need me to come get you?
Yeah.
Call 911.
Just call.
I'm like, look.
That's me. Just call 911.
I said, Nyambi, I see the park ranger. I'm gonna call him over here.
Insurance. Just call 911.
I'm gonna call him over here and get some help. You want me to sit and wait on you? I think we got free nights and weekends. I said, what? You mean we still got free nights and weekends? Just hold the phone.
Just don't say nothing.
Just hold it there, just in case.
Don't say nothing.
I'm gonna call 911 on the 3-way. So the park ranger came. We talked, and he called the supervisor. Supervisor came over, and he's like, do you think we need to call 911? And I was like, well, I'm talking to you. You tell me. He's like, no, I think you're all right. Like, we just get you some water. So at this point, like everybody, I won't say everybody in the park, but everybody in that area, because there's like different picnic areas, have like thrown bottles of water like towards my way. And he's like, drink it, drink it, drink it. So I get a ride, he's like, what do you want to do? And I say, well, I just want to ride back to my car. So I get a ride back to my car, sit in the AC, and just try to wait till I feel better.
Yeah.
Eventually I came home, and that was it. Like, I really didn't feel well afterwards. Like, I was nauseous. I think I was nauseous from like all the fluids that was like forced upon me. It's like, oh, you dehydrated.
Because you're supposed to sip the water, right? You shouldn't, I'm sure you did some chugging, right? I think you're supposed to slowly sip the water.
I was nauseous. I was still a little dizzy. And my heart was beating like crazy. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling Nyambi, I think I should go to the hospital, and she talking about nigga taking a nap.
Because you go, we could have went to the hospital. You didn't have no fever. You're going to the bathroom regularly. You're talking. You're able to eat. You're saying you're nauseous, but you're not throwing up. Like, you're just dehydrated.
Nigga taking a nap.
And you just old, right? And you talking my heart's racing.
My heart was racing.
You won't sit your ass down.
No, I had. How I won't sit down if I gotta pee every 2 minutes? Got to drink all this damn water.
That's what I'm saying. You talking about my heart racing?
My heart was racing
because you won't relax. Like, no. You start spiraling.
I run marathons. Okay. My heart is okay, but that day,
y'all, and this nigga took his temperature 3 times.
I did,
to the point. What was the temperature? 98.
99.6.
It was not. It was like 90. It was
6.
cooler, actually. It was actually a little cold. I think it was like 97.9. I took mine, and mine was like 99.1. And he was like, "Oh, is you hot?" I said, "No."
I felt like I had a fever. I was hot.
And I touched him. I was like, "You don't have a fever. You actually feel cool."
I'm walking around the house naked because I'm hot.
And me and Mabel discussed it. Me and Mabel was like, "Would you put on some clothes, a robe? Don't lay this on my couch flush. You got to lay out a towel." I don't believe in that.
So I didn't get no diagnosis.
The dehydration is you old and dehydrated.
Nyambi told me to take a nap, and I couldn't take a nap. But I did have an interesting conversation with the park ranger, because he's like, where are you from? Because me, I'm trying to make conversation because this is mad awkward.
See, that's how I know you really want that sick, because when you're sick, I wouldn't care if I was booty ass naked and just laid on the trail. I wouldn't care. Like, when you're in a situation, you're like, I don't feel good. You like, child, I don't care who around, who here, who ain't here. This is what I'm gonna be.
So, he's like, well, because I told him, like, well, I'm from Detroit. And he's like, oh, yeah, like, it's humid there. Yeah. And he's like, well, I don't know how long you've been in California, but we got dry heat. Oh. Don't let all this green, luscious land fool you, sir.
You will be back here next week if you do not have enough food.
Don't let all this green, luscious land fool you. You are in the desert.
Yeah.
And you are in dry heat.
Yeah.
Because, we was having this whole thing of like, well, I wasn't sweating. Like, I wasn't wet or nothing.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, look at your arms. Like, look at your legs. And I look at my arms and legs, and like, my whole body is like covered in salt.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, shit, I should just lick my arm then.
Oh, my, it's nasty.
I don't know if that's the way.
Nasty. No, you hydrate yourself and you take your time. And you're getting older. Let's add that to the...
Listen here.
It is. It's just you have to move differently when you hit a certain age.
I feel younger.
I'm not saying you don't feel younger, but when you reach a certain age, you do have to move differently.
Yeah.
That's it.
Shouldn't have had that.
And I ain't say you got to stop when you hit a certain age. I just say you got to move differently.
So that's the reason why we didn't have a podcast on Monday, because on Sunday, like, Naomi was like, you feel better? And I was like, no. You feel better? And at one point I said, well, fuck it, let's do it. Because Naomi would have had heat exhaustion and would have pushed through.
Because I'm a black woman.
Yeah, I would, because I'm a black woman. But since you're a black man.
Y'all need 48 hours to recover.
I ain't going to finish the rest. Just know, but since you're a black man and I'm a black woman, there's some differences. Come here, Mabel. There's some differences.
Yeah.
So I wasn't feeling well because I was on, and the thing is, I was like, what, 16 miles in? So I didn't have like 2 more miles
I think
to go.
you did it, right? Like, whatever you were trying to accomplish, I think you've accomplished.
No.
And I told him you would have did it if you weren't dehydrated. Mm-hmm. Right? But you keep skipping over this. You can't do this shit dehydrated. And it's a good lesson, especially if you have some major races coming up, right? Mm-hmm. You get a little arrogant with it. And I think also when we talk about hydration, it's just not in the moment of the race, right? It's the days leading up to it.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't think that day maybe you weren't, but maybe you ain't had to have that basil gimlet in Sagria that couple days before.
That shit was good though.
It was delicious.
Yeah,
that's all you. And maybe 10 years ago you could do that, but in your third, you can't.
Mm-hmm. So that's what happened.
Okay.
My pride was a little hurt, but not really, because I felt strong. Like, and the thing was, like, when I woke up the next day, like, I wasn't in pain. Yeah. Like, I wasn't sore from the run or anything like that. So it showed, like, physically, I'm able to run that 18 miles.
Yeah.
But like, the carbs was in my deck.
Yeah, it just old as hell. All right. What we got now? Oh, you got some more check-in, Nero?
No.
Besides your dog losing her mind. How is Mabel doing, Nero? You did any check-ins with her?
Mabel is working my last nerves.
Why?
So the other day, like I said, it's getting warm here. I had the windows open. Mabel barked every time the birds chirp.
She ain't want nobody to have joy.
Every time the birds chirp. The fuck? I had to close the damn window. Fucking up my damn.
I don't know why she don't like any outdoor noises.
I don't know. And then, every time, I blame Naomi for this. Every time somebody walk up the stairs now, like, she gets overly aggressive.
I would not say aggressive.
Yes, she's aggressive. She bark at the door. She be growling and everything else. Yeah. And I don't know if y'all remember, but we need to figure out what episode this was. When I said, Naomi, we need to nip this in the bud. And she was like, I don't know. Dogs are supposed to bark at the door. I'm okay with that. Now it's getting to the point where it's overly excessive. Mm-hmm. I don't even know. Excessive. I don't know if you're supposed to add overly to it. It's excessive. And now it's getting on Naomi's nerves. Mabel, shut up. Get your ass over there. Go over there with your daddy. No. You cake for this behavior. Now you got it.
And also with her summer hair, she's always hot. Mm-hmm. Her tongue's always out now. So we need to get her shaved bald.
I might have to pull up my clippers and just cut her myself.
Because we just got her groomed. So I'm trying to stretch this out at least another 2 weeks, sis.
She might not be able to.
I don't think she's going to be able to break it too because she be hot.
Mm-hmm. Naomi asked, let's get her hair cut long again.
I like her fluffy.
And I'm like, we need to shave her bald.
Mm-hmm. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah. So that's all was going on, man.
Perfect. What we got? We got a Black Love story?
Yep.
Yeah.
So this week's Black Love story is from Kim and Will, who's been married for 10 years.
Ooh.
They got some good stuff.
They got some double digits on them.
So how did they first meet? They said we met while working overnight at Walmart.
Ooh. That was either amazing or horrible. Was it lit working at Walmart or was it trash? But the overnight shift, I've never worked the overnight shift long term, right? I did a couple shifts, when I was at the bot store when it was busy. But Niram, you've worked the overnight. What y'all be doing overnight? Was you in the stock room or was you setting? I'm talking about these people.
Oh.
BL and Kim. Was they the set team? The people who go and change the tags and stuff or just go flip the store? Mm-hmm. Or was y'all in the back stock room? I don't know what the stock room people be doing.
We be unloading that hot ass truck.
Yeah, but y'all really be doing that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Cause that shit come in boxes and shit. You gotta unload that truck. And that truck be hot. Ain't no AC in that truck. Ain't no fan in that truck, no nothing.
Y'all do it all the same? Or the store you was at, you do all the same? Like at the bot store I was at, somebody unloaded the truck, then someone got the bot. Like it was somebody at each stage.
Like there's different stations. So like there's a crew to unload the truck. Like who's in there. I did that for a time where you touch every single box in there and you got to put it on this little
thing, push cart.
Yeah, carts or like this. I don't know what you call it. Like the roller wheels.
Flatbed.
Flatbed, right? And then somebody take it to the flatbed, they scan it, and they hand it to somebody else, and somebody got to go through the boxes and then put them up in the back room.
Shit.
The thing about being in that truck, and I did all of that. So the thing about being in that truck is there ain't no AC and ain't no heat. So in the winter months, it's cold as fuck in there.
Yeah.
Because ain't no heat in there.
Ooh, it's like you having a flashback to where you stutter.
Yeah. Shit.
What ain't in there?
Ain't no heat in there. Ain't no heat in there. It's cold as fuck.
He stuttered on that, honey.
Yes.
He went back to the coldest night ever, honey.
It was the coldest night ever. And in the summertime, ain't no air in there. So you be hot as
Why do
hell.
people who work this one don't be skinny then?
Because you be eating all that junk food. You be eating all the food that they come damaged off the truck.
Oh, I don't know if that's in the
They
rules.
get first dibs.
I don't know if that's in the rules.
Oh.
Well, all right. Y'all have to let us know. Was it fun working at Walmart or was it horrible? The next question was, when did each of you know that your partner was the one? It says, I knew he was the one when we talked about both our moms. It was something about it. It felt like our moms put us together. Oh, I like that. I wish y'all unpack that more. What happened? Now, how do you think our moms connect? Like, how do you think they same and different? My mom's crazy.
Yeah, my mom's crazy too.
Then maybe that's the connecting.
That is the connection. Other than that, like my mom's so much older than your mom, man. It's almost like a mother-daughter relationship, kind of.
That's true. Yeah, I agree. So it'd be more like your sister in a line.
Yeah.
But that is something, right? The connection of the generations.
Yeah.
Next, it says, what's the key to success of your relationship? The key is communication. It's so cliche, but true. We keep saying this over and over again, y'all. Like, y'all have to be able to communicate, but not only communicate, but honestly and transparently in a relationship. If you can get past that hurdle, you really can roll, right? If you can have honest and transparent conversations about your money, your feelings, your health, right? All that stuff, right? It helps it. Mm-hmm. And it says, what advice would you give to young married couples or young couples in relationships? It says, listen to each other. Every disagreement is an argument. You can disagree with each other and leave it at that without it blowing up into an argument. Mm-hmm. Oh, every disagreement does not have to be an argument. That's true. Sometimes you have to agree to disagree. It's about that compromise, right? Yeah. That grace-based covenant. And it's about always not wanting to be right. I think that's the biggest thing in a relationship. The relationship has taught me that I don't always have to be right and not feeling a way about it. Mm-hmm. Right? I think before I used to feel a real certain way about it, but now I just like, oh, that's cool. We can roll with it. Mm-hmm. And then it says, anything else you want to tell us about your love story? It says, we're trying for a second child. We've been trying for a second child for 10 years. And we got to the point that we just wanted to stop trying. Then out of the blue, I found out I was 15 weeks. I had no symptoms or anything. She was born in February, 3 weeks early with minor health issues, but she's great. She's 14 months now and spoiled by everybody. Oh, I love that, right?
See the picture of them. Look at that
wonderful. Look at them. Look at that baby.
Yeah.
That baby is that daddy. He can't deny her. She cuter than him, though. She take the cake. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. First the baby take the cake, then the son, then everybody else come, then the mama, then the husband.
Never mind.
I know, I'm being funny. No, y'all beautiful though, but this baby is a doll. Both y'all children is too cute.
Yeah, so shout out to you, Will and Kim.
Oh my God, I'm just looking closer at the son. Look at his cheeks. He's serving cheekbones.
He got his mama's cheeks.
Yeah, he get his mama's cheeks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the mama and the son. Them two, and then the daddy and the daughter, them two. Right, like, oh, I love this though. And also, even thank you just for sharing your journey to become pregnant, right? I know we talk about this a lot. I know it was about a month or so I talked about like Black women and fertility in our reproductive system and knowing our bodies and having conversations like this. So sis, I appreciate you sharing that you were trying for a second child for 10 years, right? Like I can only imagine the ups and the downs that you had personally, right? So was ever going through your head physically, emotionally, spiritually, and then the toll it takes on your marriage, right? So that's strength, right? I feel like I want to interview them, don't you? We might have to reach back out to them to be like, can you just talk about that? Because the thing is, I know their story and their testimony speaks to so many people out there. I know it's folks listening right now who's trying to have a baby, been trying to have a baby, and getting tired, right? And sometimes you need to have views of folks who've made it, right? Or just to give you words of wisdom and inspiration, and also just say you're not alone in it, right? Because I can only imagine that has to be isolating, right? And I'm looking at them, they young, right? So she probably at the age where she got a lot of friends who got some babies, popping out kids, just
having oops babies and shit, and one night stands, and they done got triplets, and you just been trying all your hardest,
right? And so that's hard too, and that's a hard area to navigate. But thank y'all so much. Y'all family is beautiful, and shout out to y'all Black love. I'm standing for these two kids though.
Yeah, they're kids.
Oh my God, I'm standing for them. Actually, the young boy looks like one of your nephews. Actually,
He do.
that's why I did a double take. I said, "Wait a damn minute."
He do look
Black
like
Love Matters canceled. There's something going on. There's something going on here. We got questions and receipts.
He do look like my nephew.
Yeah, and receipts.
I'm about to call my
Sister, yeah, because I'm about to call. I'm like, hey, sis. This is me. Did you get my text?
Is that him or no?
And what's going on down here?
What's going on?
I think that's why I was drawn to this film, because I kept doing a double take.
Do you know about this?
Yeah, I think that's why I was so drawn, because I kept looking wait, something ain't connected. But thank y'all for sharing. We appreciate it.
Yeah. So you want to hop into some pillows up?
Yeah. Well, y'all know what we got to do before we get into This Is Us. Y'all know R.I.P. to Nipsey.
Mm-hmm.
Nearham's more versed in this. I'm a fan of Nipsey, not because of his music, or I should say not because I didn't really listen to Nipsey Hussle music, Nipsey's music, but I was a fan of the moves that he was making out in LA, right? With buying property, neighborhoods, people, right? I really started getting peeped on him probably about maybe 2-3 years ago, where he was really doing a lot of this stuff undercover, like even under different type names. And then it came out that it was him. And then it really was solidified when him and Lauren got together, because they started doing like joint stuff.
Yeah.
So I was just like, ugh. That's what's devastating to me. Like, I probably can't tell you one Nipsey Hussle song, but I can tell you about all these business and opportunities that he has opened for people. And I think Charlamagne the God said, this hit a little different.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure why it hit a little different. Because at first I thought it was, when I first read the headlines, I thought it was a new song. I said, Nipsey dead. I said, why Nipsey? I said, why Nipsey don't write a song about him?
Nipsey dead.
Well, you know how, like, Tupac had the song about him. Now you be like, what's wrong with y'all creatives, right? Like, bruh, we don't need to manifest that. Like, and I didn't pay no mind to it. Then I went back to social media. I was like, wait a minute. This young man done passed away.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But I don't know, Niram, if you want to say, I have some thoughts, but they're not the most polite thoughts. So I'll say that to later. And not negative towards Nipsey. It's more so you niggas, but I'll save that.
Nipsey Hussle music was for the hood. It was for the gangbangers.
Yeah.
It was, it was for the niggas, and he had a message in it, right?
Yeah.
And his message has always been about like buying back the block. You did the dirt. Well, buy it back and do something different.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that really just stood up for me was the way he had his Crenshaw mixtape.
Yeah.
Where he was like, well, I'm just gonna sell 1,000 of these for $100 a piece, and use that as my seed money to like come up with the record company and things of that sort. And like even that, right? And it's like, well, I'm gonna give it away, but I'm only gonna sell 1,000 like physical copies.
Yeah.
And like that's a quick $100,000, right? And even how like Jay-Z bought 100 of them.
Yeah.
So like even looking out for that. So like, that was definitely a thing for me. That was for me, but also his music, man. And he was just a stand-up nigga, right?
Yeah.
Like on some real shit. Like he wasn't on that fuck shit.
And he wasn't loud. We were just talking about you real loud.
No.
It's a lot of rappers who real loud in the street.
He was on that fuck shit, and he was on that real shit, right? And that like he wasn't loud. Like everything that he did, he moved in a way that you would, that's very like respectable.
Yeah.
From I would say, as a person who's becoming an OG in the hood, like, did his dirt,
honest with it, right?
gang bang. He was with the Rolling 60s, and decided to take everything that he learned and everything that he did to like make an influence and impact in the neighborhood that he was from.
Yeah. Can I say my piece?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, y'all, I have a little piece, and y'all can get on me if you want. I take constructive criticism, but I have to say my mind. This is very sad. And, with this situation, what I've been most upset about?
What?
You niggas. Can I just be clear? To all niggas listening far and wide, there was no conspiracy theory to kill Nipsey Hussle. This stuff that y'all talking about with Dr. CB, and he doing his documentary, and that the government came and was going to kill him because he was going to release the secrets of alkaline water and eating a vegetable, being vegan, basically. No. I want to be very clear. Let me snap y'all all out of this because I see y'all sharing them memes and on Facebook talking stupid. That is not that. Let me tell you the facts. This young black man was shot by another black man for either jealousy, envy, or mental disorder. This one right here, y'all, is on us as a community. We cannot blame the white folks for this. We cannot blame 45. We cannot blame the government. I don't have time for this foolishness y'all talking about conspiracy theories. First of all, facts. Didn't Dr. Sebi live till he was in his damn near late 80s and he had one court case, maybe in the 80s? So what are you talking about? And can we go on thousands of videos of Dr. Sebi himself on YouTube telling you all niggas the sauce? So no, it is not a government conspiracy that involves Dr. Sebi, which is why Nipsey Hussle is dead. You want to know what it is? Niggas doing nigga shit.
It ain't
and we have to
Pro?
Take what?
It ain't COINTELPRO?
I'm not even sure what you just said.
COINTELPRO.
What is that? What are you? What
Go
is,
ahead.
Thank you. This is a us. We have to take, like Michael told us, we got to take the mirror and hold it up to ourselves. Like I said, whoever this man, I don't even want to validate by saying it, right? It was jealousy, envy. I don't know if he was rolling with the gang. I don't know what it was. It could be even mental illness. Any one of those, it doesn't even matter which one of the outcomes it was, right? That is a us thing. And this is something in our community that we have to deal with. We killed him as a community. And it's time for us to do some work. And that is my piece. And I know everyone does not agree with it, but it is true. And I'm not devaluing Dr. Sebi's work, right? It is some validations to drinking water and eating broccoli. I don't know why are you niggas surprised. Like, what? Isn't that, am I misreading Dr. Sebi? Like, he's saying, like, there's certain foods and processes that are toxic to your body. You want an alkaline body that's electric, right? Yes. Drinking water and eating vegetables, most likely you're going to live longer. But guess what? Everyone died. Like, I don't.
But y'all niggas eating fried chicken. COINTELPRO.
Y'all niggas is eating the way us black folks, we eating like we got free health insurance. And it's not. But it's not, isn't y'all? And you know I love us for real, like Monique. This was not a conspiracy theory. This was, again, hopefully a mentally ill black man. I'm hoping for the mentally illness, right? Or someone who was envious, mad, put up to it. But this was a us thing. This ain't the whites.
COINTELPRO, Counterintelligence Program.
No, it was not. It's too many YouTube videos of Dr. Sebi.
But he was going to get a sauce.
I told y'all the sauce.
What's the sauce?
Broccoli and water.
Broccoli and water.
A low glycemic diet. High alkaline. Dr. Sebi's diet is, you could go literally on Instagram and type in Dr. Sebi and they will give you a step-by-step process on what to and not to eat. The only thing Nipsey was doing was making it accessible broadly. But if you got Instagram or YouTube, you got it.
Yeah.
And let's be real, you niggas ain't letting go Popeyes. So come on. Fried chicken. I ain't letting it go. It's too hard.
Is it?
Near you're the one who tried to run 18 miles off of gin and vodka. That ain't Dr. Sebi approved. If you was on Dr. Sebi diet, you would have did that.
Don't you try to put me on blast here.
I'm just letting you know. But it did upset me.
See, this is what happened when black men try to be vulnerable.
You can't be
black women throw it right back in your face.
What we do, Neil?
See, Neil, that was you. You was out there trying to run 18 miles on gin and vodka.
But that did disappoint. That's the only thing. Like, as soon as it came out, like, folks immediately was like, it's the government. They did this. They set them up. Wait, no, nigga. Ain't the government set them up? We set them up. Mm-hmm. We did it. We got to take some ownership to this. We have to take some ownership to our community in the brokenness and the disenfranchisement that's still there. Right? And I was even telling them, they gangbang different on the West Coast.
Yeah, they do.
Right? I lived in Detroit and did some time on the East Coast, and I know they got gangs and stuff, right? But folks gangbang different out here. Mm-hmm. Right? Like I said, they be having ambassadors. Like, it is a different energy.
What's a gang ambassador?
You know what they is. Ain't Snoop Dogg one, honey? I don't know. It's just ambassadors, right? It just moves differently. Mm-hmm. And that is a us thing. That is something that we have to navigate in our community. Real shit. Mm-hmm. We do. So if anything, I would say the clap back was because he was talking a little bit too much about that. He was telling some of the gang members some of the shit y'all doing is imaginary. And that hurt your feelings. Because a lot of times folks go to gangs because of their primary family, right? So your first family the shit. Now you tell me my second family imaginary? That'll cause a mental break. Right?
Yeah.
Again, conversations we have to have. I don't know what you think. Am I stretching there? You thinking? Y'all can tear me up in Shout Out Friday.
You think it's Dr. CB in the conspiracy?
Do I think it?
No.
Or you asking other folks? If y'all think it, don't let me dim your light. Please, we will read it if you select it with a 5-star review. But I do not think.
Because you know I'm trying to get to 2,000.
I think it was. I think this Dr. CB is a distraction
from the real
problem.
Too.
From the real problem, right? And it's.
Did they find them?
I think they did. I don't know, but I can guarantee. The thing is, they didn't got to find him. So at this point, I don't even know if they found him. I guarantee it's a black man. That's what I can guarantee you.
Oh,
it ain't a white boy with a shaved head and a white hood. It's not that. It's us. That's real shit. That's real shit.
The question is, did they find them dead or alive? Because you know, street justice.
Now that's a different one. Now y'all don't keep. Anything else you want to close that out now?
Just RIP to Nipsey, man. Like, he was gone too long.
Yeah.
He was gone too soon. He died in his Jesus year.
Oh, I told you about the 33. The godly year. Don't do this. The Image Awards. Let's just change the tone.
I feel like we need like some segue music.
Yeah, no, it's because it's hard. It's hard.
Why don't you like give us like a solo?
And it's, first of all, I am not a show pony.
This is your chance. You always wanted to be a singer.
I wish, y'all, if I could sing, y'all would know. Don't even worry about that. But no, the Image Awards. I just want to talk about, can we talk about how our black folks, are we having a new renaissance? I remember it was a time when niggas didn't go to nigga awards or the big people. It'd just be like the up and coming artists and or like the neo soul. It'd be up and coming artists and like R&B and gospel artists would come. But like big pop and hip hop, they would never come to like the Soul Train Awards or like the BET Awards or the NAACP Awards. It was like at least a good,
I want to say 20 years.
Near I'm stretching. I think 10.
No.
I think it's been 10.
I haven't seen it happen since Tupac and them in the 90s. When they used to be at everything.
Everything.
Vibe Awards, Source Awards.
You're right. Maybe it's 20.
Like, I haven't seen that
because growing
since
up, that's what we seen.
Yeah.
And I think as I got into like my teen, college, and graduate school, I remember watching all these shows and be like, dang. Beyonce, even shout out to Beyonce, and they were there and they wonder where I'm gonna tell them. But it was a few years where Beyonce and them weren't coming, and Drake, like the big names weren't coming, and it wasn't like they were on tour, right? Because sometimes you are on tour and you can't stop a show.
Right.
But since you on tour every year,
well,
I guess she did go years where she was on tour pregnant, but it was years Jay-Z could have came. He want that book. He could have got a little piece of jet.
yeah.
And came on, or let me get off of them, Swiss or Drake or Kanye, right? Like some of the heavy hitters who I should like mainstream crossed or whatever you're gonna say, they weren't there. And I say them because we were the ones who put them on.
Yeah. Right.
So before they crossed over huge, right, and getting all these Vanguards award, we was the one going to the malls and seeing them or going to the state fair. Y'all know, shout out to them days. I'm old school. Remember going to the mall and state fair? Or them little raggedy places.
Yeah.
Or what's the summer jams?
We about to go mess around and see Usher and Flo Rida.
No, we're not.
TLC at one of those raggedy places.
Ooh, don't do that. But I just love seeing us there. And also stars. That's the other thing I want to say. It was a moment where like movie stars weren't even coming to it. Because it was a time where like Halle Berry and Denzel used to be at all them things. And then they just stopped coming. And then we ain't see no one. But now Chadwick and them, they done came, and Lupita and Michael Jordan. Is that his name?
B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. Oh, problematic ass. You know, now they got all the little influencers hosting them red carpets. And all the black women influencers I see shaded Michael B. Jordan. They gave like Chadwick, all the other black men, Winston Duke, thick thighs. They gave him everyone pop, but they said that Michael B. Jordan, honey. And they didn't even say words. You know, you just look. And they were like, how was everything? You know, they giving all these details about even Jordan Peele, right? Because, you know, I don't think I've ever seen Jordan Peele at any black event since Get Out. Like, that's when he came to his inaugural one. Like, did you ever see him at any black events?
No. Truthfully, I ain't seen him at any event.
Ooh.
Nor was looking for him though. Like, on some real shit, ain't no black folk was fucking with Key and Peele.
Where is Key at? Do you think Key? I know I'm dry. Do you think Key feels left out, or do you think Key is more white adjacent?
I think Key is the one with the black wife. I think
that still don't mean much.
Let's see.
I don't think neither of them have black wives.
Keegan Key.
I don't know. Y'all don't talk about Key and Peele. Like, remember, the thing was, I remember when them two put a bad taste in my mouth. I think I talked about this when Get Out was coming out, because they had that show, which sometimes it was funny, sometimes it wasn't. But the first movie they came out was talking about some Keanu go to White Castle, and Keanu was a cat. I said, what in the white foolishness is this?
You should fuck with him. He was born in Southfield.
The jokes. All the people from Detroit, the jokes just write themselves. All the true Detroit people. Sorry if anybody from Southfield listening. Was it Southfield, Lathrop? That ain't black. That's Detroit adjacent. I mean, that ain't Detroit. That's Detroit adjacent.
He from Southfield.
I know he from Michigan. I'm not challenging if he's black. He is black, but I'm saying that he align with the culture.
I don't know. Let's see. Cynthia Blaze.
Do y'all want to take bets on if Key is married to a black woman? I say no.
Okay, let's see.
I just can't. Well, why we can't find no picture of her? Nope. Damn, she white. She Reba McEntire white.
So that's one.
Oh wait, is she white?
I don't know what
she is. She might just be Creole. No, I don't. Y'all tell us.
So that's
don't she look a little bit like Reba McEntire?
Let's see. He got married again.
Oh, that's his first wife. Who was this? Ellen. She not black. Come on, keep going. Now see who Jordan Peele married to. I'm sorry, y'all can't even see this. We need a live show. Who Jordan Peele married to? Don't do this. Now I don't want no emails about y'all saying black women don't support black men married to white women. Who is he married? Is he married? He ain't married. I feel like Jordan Peele changed his whole swag though. He wasn't looking like, oh my God. Y'all just Google it.
So I typed in Jordan Peele wife, and this white woman just popped up.
Who's she? The white is a white. She transparent.
Nah, y'all be wrong.
She is. She's pretty. I didn't say she was ugly. She's just. So when he has these ideas, don't get me wrong, I'm standing for Jordan Peele. I'm working through this white. I'm fine. Like, I'm still standing for him. But just as a creative, when he's how does that? Maybe she's woke. She could be woke.
She could be.
Like, as I'm in Silicon Valley, I've met like one or two woke white women where I'm like, you good for the culture, sis. So maybe she falls into that category. You know who I'm thinking of? Like, I would like her to be married to Jordan Peele.
They got an article. Jordan Peele's white wife is a, what did I say? Non-issue.
Yeah, that's what I said. She's what's the difference? What does Amanda Seales have? Is a difference between being a white woman and a woman who happens to be white, right? I just hope and pray that Jordan and Key are married to women who happen to be white and not white women. Because with white women, they hold a sense of privilege in upholding that idea of white supremacy and turning a blind eye and not acknowledging the trials and tribulations and traumas that people of color went through. However, if you're a woman who happens to be white, you can still be in your privilege, right? And not have any white fragility adjusted to that. But while you're in your privilege, you bring other folks up with you, but not tell their story, right? You give them the platform to do that. So if that is the place, he cool. But if she is a woman, if she's a white woman, that is a problem. I think that's what I'm gonna start saying. I do have a problem with black men are in a relationship with white women. I don't have a problem when they're in a relationship with women who happen to be white, because those are two separate things. So I'm just gotta be though, because I don't think a white woman could handle this. I think a white woman would have been divorced his ass to be like, so why you write Get Out as an autobiography of my family? Like, was you talking about my daddy? Right? You know, I don't think a white woman will be able to hold that space and still be supportive.
They also said Jordan Peele is biracial.
I mean, he's great. Look at him. Look at him, Neil. Can you scroll down? Look at him. Okay. Do you see multi-racial? What do you see? What do you see when you see him?
No comment.
Niram, what do you see when you see both of them men? Key and Peele, what do you see? Do you see yourself? You see Niram. So keep it moving.
I don't see Nero.
I hate when people qualify things. I hate when people, oh, wait, he's half white.
I'm just trying to play those. Well, you know.
Okay.
People can say that Michelle Obama is married to a white man. Because Barry is half
Where?
white.
This is me. Pull up the picture. That's what I just do to people all the time. Pull up the picture. Just like we did the wife. Let's pull up the picture. Facts. Culturally, yes. But facing perceptions up front, a nigga.
Hey.
Culturally, of course, yes. I'm sure he's white and black and have both of those and celebrate. Yes.
I'm just fucking with y'all. Don't y'all at me for this bullshit.
What you?
Don't at me.
No, I'm a fan of both, but I'll stand in my shit, right? If they marry white women who don't understand their privilege and stand and uphold white supremacy or the patriarchy, right? Because patriarchy does not have a gender. That's another thing we get fucked up. We think all the time it's just men who are pushing for this patriarchy, but it's a lot of women who's pushing that shit forward too. And if they align with that shit, yeah, we got a fucking problem. But if not, we cool. That's us black women, ain't it? That's what we be saying. Anyway, back to the Image Awards. It was just nice to see folks there. Because I think they was there. Like I said, everybody was there.
Oh, his white wife was there too?
I don't know if I seen her, but
let me go.
Don't do this. But I think I seen them, and it was just super nice. Oh, can we talk about Beyonce and Jay-Z winning these awards? Beyonce Entertainer of the Year. How many more times do you think she gonna get that? Till she gonna be exhausted?
At least about 10 more.
She was like, I'm actually just cooking up some stuff in the lab now for you girls. Sickening. Her outfit was sickening. Jay-Z, I really liked, he won the President's Award. Can we talk about how much Jay-Z is doing for the community? Can I tell you, I don't know, he might have always been moving this way, right? And just did it quietly. But on a weekly basis, I'm reading about an article of Jay-Z giving somebody some money, a job, a place to stay, some food, or putting somebody on. Weekly.
Yeah.
Weekly. And this is the stuff that hits the press. Because that tells me there's other shit that's popping off that we don't even know about.
That happens in the dark.
Wow. That just made me just appreciate Jay-Z and also, you know, his courage to just do these freeform locks and giving niggas other courage to do it.
You know what?
No, I'm teasing. It's actually pretty moisturized. I'm actually, you know, when I seen Jay-Z with his freeform locks, I said they actually look real moisturized. What I not need his brethren to do is come on there and don't put no oil on theirs. Because you niggas will try to do it, but the thing is, Jay-Z, I bet at night he massages his scalp with almond oil. But you nasty niggas won't. And just be over there looking like the king of the gollywots, Bodak Yellow. It's a difference. Why are you quiet? What, Nero?
They got an article. Jay-Z explains why he's growing.
I thought he just like it. He can't just embrace his culture.
Yeah, you can.
But y'all don't get it twisted. Jay-Z just don't wake up like that. That is he put in work for them dreads. I think that's the secret folks don't tell you with dreads. Folks with dreads put in work, honey.
I know, because I had
it ain't just this is just a lived in natural look, right? Folks with I shouldn't say dreads, with lots. Put in work.
I know.
Right? Like with the moisture balance. You got to make sure you don't get no lint in it. You got to make sure you like it's a lot of work to maintenance it, right? To look like a very carefree, natural look. And that's why I said, don't you Negroes get it confused and think that y'all can just go to bed and wake up and look like Jay-Z and wonder why your mom want to have intervention. Because you know how black mamas is. Boy, what's going on?
What the hell is this picture with this dude with the locks with the baby in there?
Anything else you want to say, Nero?
No.
Who's another one? J. Cole do it too. But y'all don't think lots are not, for folks who have lots, right in, tell folks how hard it is to maintain lots.
Oh, it is.
Because it is.
I had locks for about 7, 8 years.
Yeah, it
takes a while.
Yeah, for it to look, because when you see some lots, you be like, them hitting.
I would say it took me about 3 years for me to be like, oh yeah, these is fly.
Yeah, they hitting, right? It take maintenance, right? And knowing your hair and breaking old routines and patterns. But once they hit, they hit.
To the point where all you got to do is just palm
roll them. Woo! But that take work to get there, y'all. And I know how y'all think. Y'all think y'all just gonna go to bed and put on that dirty car sponge. You don't talk about the y'all go on YouTube, do your research before you start these lock journeys.
Car
sponge. You don't talk about them sponges that make them little cuckabugs.
Yeah,
it's cute, but you can't afford no lots from that.
I tried the sponge. My hair don't work that way. I was rubbing and shit.
Okay,
that did not work.
Yep.
So do we go ahead and get into this? This is us.
This is us. Is us. I already said my piece. So this episode, y'all, this is a summary, was titled R&B, Randall and Beth. And it just went on their love story, basically. So how they met, which was in undergrad, and how Randall was like, I think I love her. And she called white brother, and white brother was like, black brother, take black girl on date. And black brother was like, I'm scared. And then white brother was like, you pussy, put her on the phone. I'm going to tell you what to say. Then Beth went. But it was a moment at the restaurant when they went out to their first date, and you know, they're a young black couple at a very, very nice restaurant, air quote. And the waiter was like, oh, you got to prepay. And Randall doing Randall things. Oh, sure. Oh, okay. Let me write a check, but I'm not sure how much it's going to be. And Beth said, bitch, don't you dare give me this check. We're getting the fuck up out of here. But with that, Beth was like, you're just too much, Randall. You told me about your dead daddy and your white family, and you being left on the steps of the church at the night. And I just want nachos and ginger beer. And that's my ideal evening. Pause.
Do Jamaicans eat nachos?
I've never. See, this is how you know who's in a writing room. I thought she was going to be like, oxtails and plantains. Because I'm a fan. Or cocoa bread.
What they call sorrel?
Sorrel. The ginger beer is real.
Sorrel.
The sorrel. Hibiscus.
Hibiscus. For my island people who are listening, I can't.
We're from Detroit. We drink Verner's.
Hibiscus
tea. No, I say sorrel. It becomes sorrel when that rum go in it. To me, hibiscus is non-alcoholic, and sorrel is the alcoholic version. Because you know, you sip the wrong tea, you think you just get a little sweet tea,
right?
And they have you on your ass. We have a friend back on the East Coast made this sorrel. I don't know if you listening. Ooh. Whoa, it hit.
Put that Henny in there.
Oh my. I don't think you're supposed to put Hennessy. Oh. That's a Detroit version. That's a Detroit Jamaican. But it's good. Shout out to Jamaica, first of all, because I do love I love Jamaican people, the food and the culture. Y'all sometimes speak to me. You Jamaican men, no, we be falling out, but you know, I still rock with you. But anyway, yeah, you're right. That's the little things in the writing room. Girl was like, I've never seen a Jamaican eat a nacho.
No.
Have a tortilla chip.
No.
Maybe a Dorito.
No, they said fried plantains.
And like she went to the Jamaican restaurant
and got nachos.
And ordered nachos. What, Beth? Is you Jamaican? Who orders nacho
at a Jamaican restaurant?
The thing is, that's so American because not even Mexicans or Latinos go to their places and be like, give me some nachos.
Was it curry chicken on those? Was it some jerk chicken on those nachos?
She was like, nachos, ginger beer, ice cold, please. What the fuck was that order? Didn't even sound good. Bitch, I was looking for a patty with some cocoa bread on it.
Right.
Right. Do you know? Give me something.
I was looking for some callaloo.
This is some saltfish.
Shit.
Ackee.
It's some ackee. I was waiting on saying, let me get some jerk chicken with some
corn carnival.
With some rice and peas.
Oh, my God. Just anything. Or some of that hard ass macaroni and cheese. You Jamaicans, how do y'all make them that hard ass macaroni and cheese be thick? Is it y'all just use Velveeta in it? You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. I feel like Southern macaroni, it'd be a little cream to it. But Jamaican, I feel like I go to Jamaican restaurant, I'm like, yeah, can I get it? Because y'all always order oxtails. Whenever I go to Jamaica, that's what I always order. So I always, with my oxtails, I get a side of macaroni and cheese, and I feel like it just come cut in a brick. And I just be like, it is good, but I'm like, why is it so thick? Why hold the shape?
It sticks to your ribs for real.
Anyway, so I call her Jamaican card a little on there. I'm like,
right. She ain't pull out no curry goat, no oxtails,
or some other secret menu items that I might not even know about. Because that's even stuff I'm talking about mainstream. Ain't no type of fish. Ain't sis, right? I don't know. So that took me off. So then fast forward through undergrad. They, I guess, is they still, I'm assuming grad school we fast forward to, and Randall done proposed how many times?
3 times.
Can we talk about how maybe Beth and Randall shouldn't have played graduate school? 20s Beth, it was bad.
Oh, it was.
And the thing is, I love them like as actors. So right, in my stand-up, I'm trying to cover that Randall don't look 20 anything.
No.
I don't care how little his glasses and how much you shave his beard. Randall is a grown man with a mortgage and 4 kids. Right. He is in his solid 40s.
He got grown man pores and everything.
And Beth grown too.
You know, as
Beth is grown.
As you get older, your pores just be opening up.
Ain't nothing. But they could have just kept the other ones. Right. Or they need an in between. because they went right from them young babies to 40-year-old
with them old ass pores. Nigga, you don't look 25.
Yeah, you put that Tommy Hill, that tight ass polo shirt on. Don't make you young. See, that's how I know they don't got enough blacks in the room. I just looked at the whole outfit. I was just like, I could tell it was dated. And why did White Mama look older?
I don't know.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
She looked older than she do now. So he proposed to her multiple times. I know I couldn't be White Mama because I've been told Black Randall, like, so there's no other women that, this me, what she major in? That's doing something similar. And we were confused because we thought they were at Howard.
Yeah.
I swear, y'all, they said they went to Howard. They met at Howard. But I guess they're at Carnegie Mellon. I think that was a Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Y'all know the Mandela effect? Go ahead and Google it. Well, I swear they told us they went to this HBC.
I swear I thought he went to Howard
But
too.
now it's these alternate universes where like he's like, no, he ain't going to HBC. But when did we establish Carnegie Mellon? Because I was like, where that white roommate come from? No offense, Howard.
So I had to do some digging.
Yeah.
And I went to the forum. So the forums told me.
I went to the forum.
I went to the.
Did you remember they said Howard?
I thought he went to Howard with White Daddy. He's like, this is my place. I'm gonna be with my people, and yada,
and then
yada,
White
yada.
Daddy was like, yes, you got to be with your people. I'm White Daddy, but you Black son.
Yeah. So I went on the forums so I can figure out what the hell going on, and they said, I forgot what episode, but it was somewhere in season 3 where after White Daddy died, Randall called Howard and rescinded his admission.
Yeah.
And went to Carnegie Mellon because it was closer to home.
Yeah, I guess because Carnegie Mellon isn't Mellon. Sorry, Mellon. Ooh, that would have been nice if y'all. Do Carnegie Mellon have a Black student union? They should call them
Carnegie Mellon.
If y'all looking for a cute little saying to put on your Black student union shirt.
Carnegie Mellon.
So that threw me off a little bit because they were like, oh, everyone's like, we should be together because we was the only Blacks there. I said, that's a lie. But I also believe it's a lie that there wasn't nobody else there at that place, especially Black women, because Black women usually always outnumber Black men at universities.
Hell,
and honestly, it just still surprised me that Randall is with a Black woman. Can we be real about that? Can we just be honest? Like, I love this Black love story, but y'all really thought Randall was going to do with a Black woman?
I thought so.
And a Black Jamaican woman?
Nah, that I didn't, but you know.
Come on. Because this is Black Love Matters, we're going to tell the truth and shame the devil.
That I didn't, but you know, when you at Carnegie Mellon, your choices are just slim.
I don't think. I think it was probably more women than men. I think he had an abundance of choice. Anyway, proposing multiple times to Beth went and tell him that I'm overwhelmed. I can't take it. You all encompassing Randall. I don't want to be married to you till I know who I am myself, blah, blah, blah. Then White Mama was like, be strong, blah, blah, blah. And then that's when Beth was like, all right, let's go to the Jamaican spot and get nachos. Oh my God, Beth. And she like chugged the ginger beer. And I'm like, girl, I don't even think that's the right name brand. And then after that, they fast forward. I was like, what brand is that?
Stop right
is that
there.
Singram's? What is that?
Because all the ginger beer I know, that's Jamaican ginger beer,
Don't look like that.
Or just ginger beer in general, that shit burned.
It burned. She was chugging it.
She was chugging it. I hear them, nothing.
Yeah.
She was just chugging it.
And eat nachos, extra jalapenos. Jamaicans don't got pickled jalapenos. What? It's just certain cultural foods. Like I said, the Asians, you don't see cheese.
No.
You go to an Asian restaurant, ask for some cheese. Where? No. Okay. Maybe I overstepped the line. I don't know. I'm sorry.
No.
And then we fast forward to them about to get married and they going back and forth with their vows and Beth trying to scratch it out on a Post-it note. Meanwhile, Randall done did a dissertation on what marriage is. And don't it make Kevin see in a different light too, though? Where Kevin was like, you need to relax. Like, you're on 1,000.
But I think Kevin has always been that way, right?
Really? But yeah. I think he's always been highlighted as being, like, really dumbed down.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, no, he's really a grounding force in this family. And I think the scenes with Randall showed that. Right? Because I think before they showed it, like, they weren't really there for each other. But it was very crucial moments that I think they were there and supportive.
Yeah.
Of each other and grounded Randall, right? Because I think sometimes Randall gets gets the reputation of coming in, swooping, and save the day. But I think a few times Kevin was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Take that out." He said, "Get to the point where you talk about Beth."
Right. He said, "There's nowhere in here."
He said, "Oh, let's start this."
Let's start there. You should start off with something.
And then they did a This Is Us lean when they both come and do their vows and they cry and they bought a house. I imagine they was house poor like us because they only had a bed and a dresser. And the wedding in the backyard, which is hilarious. She said we can't afford a house and a wedding. Preach. That was a word. And then when they first had tests where they up late at night and Beth, here we go again with these nachos. The thing is, I think they started with this analogy and never could shake it. Right? I think it would have came off racist if they start talking about rice and beans and patties. Maybe that's why. It would have came off a little.
You always leave me the oxtails with no meat on it.
You always leave me the fatty piece of the ox, although I like that piece too. You always leave me the little piece of the oxtail, not the big piece, the fat piece with the meat.
You just always leave the bones, Randall.
The bones for me. And he'd be like, no, it's a piece of oxtail. Because you know how sometimes when you get the rice and oxtails, it'd be oxtails hidden under the rice. You'd be like, ain't no oxtails hidden.
I checked the rice. Ain't no oxtails in that rice.
Or maybe you eating all the peas out of the rice.
That seems like a Randall type of move. This nigga eating all the pigeon peas out the rice.
Ain't no pigeon pea. Or the hard piece of rice. You left me with the stale rice. What the hell is this? Which I got what she was saying, too, right?
Randall, you eat all the steamed cabbage.
I like the steamed cabbage. When you put that hot sauce on it, we put that pepper juice on it. That'd be hitting that orange sauce. But they talked about that, and Randall didn't connect it, right? Or even his response was, "Oh, I'll never eat nachos again." Nigga, that ain't the problem. The nachos ain't the problem. I can go sprinkle some more cheese on it. And I thought the shady part, what Beth said, I love you because whenever I want nachos, you make it, but you eat them all. So I don't know how that's helping me. I was like, damn. So he ain't get it. And then you flash forward to current day when they had the argument when he walked the fuck out. I don't know. What you think about? Like I said, both of them had their rights and their wrongs, right? I do think Randall is a lot. He is a man that I think takes a lot of energy. But I also believe he's a man who puts out that same type of energy, which is always a balance for me, right? I don't mind feeling and pouring into you if you'll do the same to me. And I think Randall will. And Beth, I think, wait, did we talk about the last thing before we got to current day? When they was at the restaurant, when they were at the grocery store and Randall was preaching to his newly found daddy, because his daddy ain't want to go to his boyfriend and be like, I just don't want to go with that motherfucker. And then Randall's like, tell him. He's like, no, I'm just ain't gonna show up, or I'm telling him I'm busy. And Randall told him, honesty and communication, this is what me and my black wife do to have a great life. And then who we see in the grocery store getting Swedish fish? Here's shady daddy. Go talk to your black wife
about that communication. Yeah, that was.
And at the end, she ended up then going. She just came home. Right, that's what started triggering to me. It was like, well, Beth, you have to take some space. Yeah, you have to take some space and ownership of that. Right, like she's almost wanting Randall to give permission is not the word, but almost force her to do it.
Why though?
Right, where I don't think Randall waits for Beth to do it. I think Beth like, you need me to do this. Randall like, yep, thank you. Where Randall like, you need me to do this. Beth like, well, maybe we can. I'll be. He's like, oh, okay, cool. And I think that's men too, though. Yeah, that's men. And the only thing is, y'all know Beth ain't my favorite. I love their love. I love Beth and Randall, but there has to be. You cannot depend on other folks to know, like, your every need and your want and your bandwidth, right? Like, you have to take some ownership of that, even in a marriage, right? And I think it should be some type of intuitiveness between you and the marriage, right? But when it comes down to it, you have to be able to speak what you want and be confident in speaking into that light. And I don't know why Beth wasn't. Like, I think a little bit of her upbringing culturally, as a black woman, as a black Jamaican woman, I think, black women, Jamaican women, we carry a lot for the family and we do a lot of sacrifice, that to our detriment, I believe. So I think that's playing in it. But I'm going to have to put some onus back on Beth to say, you have to name what you want and claim it. And be firm in what you say. Yeah. Because I just don't see Randall as the one to be like, nigga, you ain't do it. And it surprised her when he finally clapped back.
Ooh, and Randall was like,
it ain't my fault it took you 20 years to figure out what the fuck you were going to do, and it's not aligning with our kids, our finances, and our life. Right. And what do you say about that?
He said any time between those years and now, I would say, yeah, go for shit.
But Randall, like Nyambi, the way our bank account set up, And this mortgage we still paying on. We only been together for 20 years. We got 10 more years left. What we gonna do, right? But I hope they work it out. I don't want them to break it up. And I do believe every relationship goes into phases and seasons, but hopefully you can find your way through it and you become stronger and for it. But I put a little onus on this on Beth. Both of them get it, but Beth, you gotta. And Beth, if this is a non-negotiable, say this is a motherfucking non-negotiable. Yeah. And look at him in his eye and pass him some chapstick. Because it's going to be some pouty nights. Because I seen on the preview for the next episode that come on tonight, or last night, where she was looking at him and was like, this is us love analogies. Well, when we were at the escape room and it was at the dire moment and we was pissed at each other, we were mad. He's like, yeah, I remember that. He said, but we got out at the end. We found a way out. And he was like, yeah, you right. And we going to do the same. We going to find a way out. We going to find our door and our window. And right when Randall about to walk off, put some chapstick on, Beth was like, I don't see the door. Randall should have turned around. Well, bitch, find a window. That's what I wanted to turn around as Randall. He looked at her like, ho? He should turn around. Well, bitch, we going to have to find a window in this motherfucker. Or a chimney. Or build the damn door. Because that ain't good enough. But I was really, Beth, you about to break up with him over the dance school.
Yep.
If you don't call a cousin Zoe who ain't doing shit, what Zoe do?
I don't know.
Well, no, Kevin be drunk. I say, white brother. Never mind. Let me stop.
No.
They
need a nanny. They need a nanny.
They need a college nanny and a sitter. And I say them because that's cheap. Them basically the Ubers of nannies. Yeah, you can't afford no rich one. No, you can't afford no one who got a degree in this. Find Keisha, who you can pay $15, $16 an hour to come through, watch the kid. But the key is make sure Deja there. Because Deja been around the block and she can smell bullshit a mile away. Mm-hmm. That's all. And what you do for Deja, right? See what she really into. The time she got to, because during the week, she got to be home kind of watching the children. And on the weekend, let her get into something she want to get into and really support her in doing that. Right? Better yet, do Deja got some friends? Right? That's what I'm saying. Keep it internal. Like, that's really, and I think that's why I get upset, because the solution here is a nanny.
At this point, do they even need nanny? How old is fucking Tess and the little one?
The little one, I feel like she's internally 4. But Tess, I can't tell if she's 10 or 15. How old is Tess?
I don't know. But anyway.
Tess come off a little immature.
Still.
The baby seemed more mature. I ain't seen her in weeks.
The baby or Tess?
Both. I be seeing Deja at the kitchen table. Deja show up for the what's it called, table reading. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You made me lose train of thought.
What you think? What's your view? What's your Randall view? Like, you can tear me down if you agree that Randall. What you think? How you think Randall on fuck shit? How you think Beth on fuck shit? What you think?
So here's the thing. Like, Randall is extra. He's a lot.
He is a lot. But I think he puts the same energy out.
He does.
He doesn't just absorb it. If he was just a user, a taker, I couldn't be okay with this. But I don't believe that's his energy.
Mm-hmm. He's a lot.
Yeah.
And that's something you got to deal with, and that's something that Beth known from the jump, right? From day one.
She knew from day one this nigga ain't changing. That's what, women, we be thinking we can change these niggas, and we can't.
Thought you was gonna change that nigga. You ain't changed shit. That
nigga,
he just became more set in his ways.
Yeah.
And I think for Beth, like, she's always had that resentment of not being able to.
That's it.
To be Misty Copeland.
Oh. Did you say Misty Copeland?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ain't this the Black Ballerina?
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's a jump. Right, that's a hell of a comparison. That's like me going out to play tennis to be like, yeah, I tried to be Serena.
Well, she was trying to get
Bitch,
there.
I'm Randall. You about 20 years too late.
She was trying to get that solo until the real Misty Copeland came in there.
Ooh, you think her name was Misty?
Mm-hmm. And I think she has some resentment around that.
Yeah.
And I think that resentment is starting to come out now, right?
Yeah.
With her not having a job, and just trying to, like, find her way and, like, really getting back to it. And she's like, oh, I wonder why I never did this.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to,
I would argue that's not Randall stuff.
No, that's not all Randall's. That's not Randall at all.
Yeah, that's more growing up. And the death of her father, like, that plays into it too, and unpacking that. I would love to see Randall and Beth go to therapy.
Maybe she having a midlife crisis.
Maybe. Sis, soon as they fired her, and she thought she was about to be a partner. I knew she went ticky boom boom. That's why I said, where are her friends?
She ain't got none.
It's a couple of my friends that I know we all striving not to love our job and who we are, but it's a couple of my friends that if they lose their job, I'm flying out. Do you being like, hey, you good? you okay? Mm-hmm. Is everything okay, right? Because there's something to that, right? That was her last piece of not being a mother, not being a wife, not being a daughter, just being Beth and thriving in that. And that was snatched from her, right? Unexpectedly, right? First of all, you should have your identity tied into that type of stuff, but you know, it does sometimes. That was her hobby and her everything. So now everything has shifted. Yeah, I knew she was going ticky boom boom as soon as they gave her that pink slip. And I was like, oh, this is not going to be well. I was just grateful that Randall was like, it's cool.
It's cool.
But she do need probably a nice piece of therapy.
Yeah. I think black people in general
just need therapy.
Just need therapy. But yeah, you know, I think all of that plays into that, right?
Yeah.
And I think, you know, this is definitely as much as Randall is overbearing, because that nigga is over. This is a Beth problem.
Yeah, I do think it's Beth. And not Beth like her problem, like she's the reason the seeds and everything bad. I think this is the time and space for Beth just to work on herself. And then after she's done her work, Eon Levant, right? Then you come back and say, these are new expectations and boundaries.
So the thing is,
period.
Can you blame a person for falling into the shadow? Like,
just sometimes it's easier.
Because she felt like she dimmed her light for Randall?
Yeah.
Is that what she feel like?
Yeah. Or she feel as if when I think all relationships in life, you come to forks in the road. And you choose to do either the hard road that's a little harder or you choose to do the road that's a little easier. And I think she chose the path of least resistance for all these years. And I think they're finally at the fork of the road and she wants to take the path that has a more resistance to it. And that's a new dynamic in a relationship.
Yeah.
That's all. Right? Like she had all these times in Cornerstone, she had the option. She ain't had to go eat nachos and ginger beer and talking about I'm ready to be married. She ain't had to do none of that stuff.
No, she could have been like, no, nigga.
I'm all set. I'm going to stay here and live my best life. Yeah. But I think they're going to make it through. Like, I don't think they're going to turn this into a horror story. Like, I don't think they're going to do divorce. Even if they separate. Like, a separation won't surprise me. If they have to go their separate ways for a few months to a year. But I think they're gonna make it. They're going to be happy ever after. This is something that is workable, I believe.
Yeah.
Whew, that was good. You want to answer the are we going to do our kitchen table talk or you just want to condense those and just do all kitchen table talks for Friday?
We do all kitchen table talk for Friday.
Girl, I ain't finna get bitch about your Leo man, honey. Oh, I got some tips on navigating and working through that Leo man energy. So we're going to do that. And I know also Sis left us a voicemail. And I think it was one more shout out. One more question. We'll just do them all on Shout Out Friday. Alrighty.
But as always, to submit your Black Love story, go to blacklovematters.com. To submit a question for Kitchen Table Talk, shoot us an email at blacklovematters@gmail.com. To leave comment about anything that we talked about, head on over to that website. We also got SoundCloud, and we also got that voicemail, and that's at 508-784-1111. That's 508-784-1111. Talk to y'all later. Remember,
love is ever evolving.
Peace.